Contractors and home service businesses, do you present your customers with estimates, quotes, or proposals for your work? And do your customers sometimes need more time to think about it before accepting? How much potential revenue is locked up in those open opportunities right now in your business? And how much do you pay to get those leads for them just to sit there and end up in the no man's land of wait and see? Well, what if I told you that you could be closing up to 20% more of those sales just by adding this one thing to your sales process? It's like a secret weapon in sales, and it's getting some big results. A hearth and patio contractor added $105,000 additional revenue in less than 5 weeks. A roofing contractor added 6 figures additional business in 6 months, doing nothing differently than this. An HVAC and plumbing company added over 6 figures in new business in 5 months. A foundation repair company did over $116,000 additional business in less than 2 months just by doing this one thing. A heating and venting company in Virginia has done $381,000 in additional business, still going strong. A chimney and masonry contractor added nearly $500,000 extra revenue in 1 year. A plumbing company who was convinced this wouldn't work has only used it 15 times so far and has already picked up an easy additional $15,000, which represents a 66% close rate improvement on those jobs. Hi, I'm Carter Harkins. I'm the founder of Closing Commander. I've worked with thousands of contractors and home service businesses in the past decade. I've seen up close the challenges you face in selling your services. I know how much money you're spending to get new sales leads, and I know that cost is only going up every year. You probably already have a decent kitchen table close rate. But I've also never met a business owner or a technician or a salesperson who didn't know for a fact that they were leaving money on the table every day. Look, no one closes 100% of their opportunities. There will always be customers who need to think about it. You know that if you could get disciplined about sales follow-up, you could close a lot more of these open estimates. But no matter what you've tried, following up is never consistent. And you know what? It's not your fault. Follow-up is really the hardest part of the sales process. And I think there's 2 reasons for this. First is your job responsibilities. You have too much to do. Every day, there are too many things pulling at your time, and following up with a list of customers is important, but it's rarely the most important thing you have going on today. You know, it's number 2, it's just the way that we're wired. Procrastination is just the brain's way of protecting you from pain, okay? Think about it. Pain from rejection is the same as pain from physical things, right? You pull your hand back from the stove because your brain tells you, don't do that, it hurts. Well, just like the brain protects you from physical pain, the brain also protects you from pain of rejection. So following up and risking that pain of rejection, your brain's going to give you a million things to think of instead of letting you face that pain. You know, it doesn't matter what you try to get over it either. You can create reminders. You can use elaborate spreadsheets and calendars. You can use something as simple as maybe like a box of index cards, or you could go complex like a team sales CRM program. But I've looked and I've seen in these businesses that have tried these things that none of these efforts ever succeed because number 1, we just have too much to do. And number 2, our brains protect us from rejection. So you're already fighting against the odds with any of these methods, but you can make follow-up happen for every single customer, every single time you present an estimate. You can create a sales process that includes consistent follow-up. But this doesn't happen by changing human nature. You can't change it. It happens by removing human nature from the equation altogether. It happens when you start doing sales follow-up in a brand new way, a way that moves you from frustration and friction to effortless ease. It happens when you go from resistance and excuses to positive habitual success. And you can do it successfully by simply offloading this task of follow-up to a system that's going to do it for you. The actual company results that I started this presentation with, They're all directly coming from companies who have started doing follow-ups in this new way. And the whole reason that I'm talking to you today about it is because I want you to have those same kinds of results too. So quickly, here are 3 things that I think any sales follow-up system has to do in order to be effective and deliver the kinds of results that I'm talking about. First, the system must remove psychological fear. Now, remember back in junior high at the dance, you wanted to go with a girl that you thought was real pretty, but what if she said no? So instead of asking her yourself, you got a buddy to go ask her for you. Remember that? Now, I'm not saying that we're still all in junior high, but what I am saying is that salespeople face fears every single day. And you've seen salespeople who get the call sheet they have to make and they start psyching themselves up, right? It's even a phrase. It's so common. I got to psych myself up to make these phone calls. But I want to tell you, trying to defeat the natural defense mechanisms of your brain to psych yourself up is not a long-term strategy for success. Removing the fear of the unknown and the pain of rejection actually does work. So how do you remove the fear? Well, a good system that follows up for you should be able to do that. Number 2, I think that a system, in order to be effective, should do repetitive tasks for you. Okay, I think sales follow-up effectiveness has to be consistent, repetitive, and yes, even boring. But why should you be doing it? Get the system to do it for you. The hard part of selling, everybody knows, is everything else. Follow-up is just a repetitive administrative task that the brain doesn't want to do for a lot of different reasons. So instead of doing it yourself, get a system that can follow up for you and take the repetitiveness, but also the consistency off of your plate. Okay, and very last, it shouldn't feel like it's automated. In order for a sales system that follows up with customers to be effective, nobody should know that they've been automated. And if your customer doesn't know that they're automated, then when they receive automated messages to follow up with them about the estimate that you've presented, they'll feel appreciative. They'll actually thank you for your kindness and your consideration. They'll appreciate the world-class level of communication and customer service that you're now providing. And you know that world-class customer service changes everything with your relationships with your customers. So if you could find a system that can, number 1, remove fear, 2, take over all of your repetitive, boring tasks, and 3, deliver consistent, world-class customer communication, do you see how it can all add up to deliver the kinds of success that you've always wanted from your sales process? I think this is the system for you. Now, there's 2 ways to build a system like this. There's the hard way, which consists of off-the-shelf automation platforms, platforms that do automated email drip systems. You sign up for one, then you work with someone to get it set up, and then you have to integrate that system with other systems to take care of certain things and make sure that it works and everything. And hope that during this process that you know enough about how it was created and the ever-changing world of web technologies in order to keep it all working for any more than just a minute or two. So you're probably, if I'm guessing, you're going to get about 80% of the way there and get it completed about 80% before you finally say, you know what, this is too complex. Nobody in my business is even going to use this because it's so complex. And then you've got a system you've spent a lot of money on and a lot more time on, doesn't work well consistently long term, and nobody will use it anyway because it's just too complex. We actually did it this way with our early prototypes, but when we saw how complex it was, we knew this wasn't going to work, which is why we built the next way to do it. It's not the hard way. It's actually the easy way. It's a simple system for follow-up called Closing Commander. Now, this is easy sales follow-up automation. It's built just for contractors and home service businesses. It works as an office communication tool or as a sales team. So you use it in the office or use it in the field, either way. It's always there, standing by, ready when a customer needs time to consider your sales estimate, your quote, or your proposal. It's simply Basically, the way it works, you simply add their name and their email address and then click a button to start the automated follow-up process. The system takes over from there. You're done. Until you hear back from the customer, the system will send emails from your actual email account, and it's going to track when they're opened, track when a link gets clicked, and track when your customer replies to you. It's going to faithfully run in the background like your automated assistant until you tell it to stop or until it completes sending up to 7 follow-up emails. You can stop it really simply too. When a customer responds and lets you know yes or no, go in, pull up their account, and with a click of a button, either win the job or stop the follow-ups. We actually also track your success over time by reporting just how much extra money your business is winning every month by using Closing Commander. It's the same system that's delivering the results that we already talked about at the beginning of this video. And we built it just for contractors and home services who have tried manual follow-up processes and are so frustrated with the long-term sustainability of those processes. It's built for people who want their time back, who want to simplify and shorten their sales process while at the same time making it even more of a world-class experience for their customers. It's for business owners and commissioned field employees who want better results and more sales success without adding a bunch of complexity and time-wasting stress to their lives. It's for owners that don't want to micromanage their sales team anymore. So right now, you're probably thinking it sounds like something worth giving a real shot to, right? But you also may still be a little bit skeptical. I understand. So let me walk you through some case studies that we did on actual users and their businesses. So the first one up is Leonard & Sons. Rich and Caleb Martinez are the owners. When we first started with them, they weren't doing any follow-ups at all. They wanted to see if a follow-up system could actually help them win some of the bigger jobs that without any follow-up, they weren't able to win. But bigger jobs have to have follow-ups oftentimes in order to get them to move and decide to do the job. So what they'd like to do is use Closing Commander to win those jobs and actually shift their revenue profile away from smaller jobs and towards larger jobs. Everybody wants to make more money for less work, right? So their goal was anything over a certain dollar threshold, they would use Closing Commander to go after those estimates and follow up. The results were really amazing. They actually closed 41% more of the jobs they put in Closing Commander. 41% of those jobs actually closed in just 7 months. Now, keep in mind, this was also the slow season in Chicago. So what they did effectively in 7 months was close 41% of those jobs, which was $258,000 in additional revenue in their slow season. So here was the verdict. Was it a success in their business? Well, besides all the extra money, which clearly made it successful, we asked them what other benefits the tool gave them. And their response was this: Closing Commander actually was really appreciated by their customers for its communication. So it was more money and it was improving the customer experience. So for Leonard & Sons, it was an absolute win. Here's another case study. Cinderbox in Indianapolis. Jeff Walensky is the owner. I had a chance to talk with him, and he told me that several months ago, he had to fire his office manager. And when he did, he discovered that in her office was a 2-year-old stack, almost 3 feet tall, of nothing but open estimates that were her responsibility to follow up on, and she hadn't been doing it. You can imagine it was a nightmare, and it explained a lot about revenue. Jeff immediately signed up for Closing Commander, sat down one weekend while he was watching the game, a beer in one hand and the laptop in the other, and he sat there with the stack and started entering in those customers. And I told him, I said, I'm not sure that these are going to close, Jeff. Some of these are almost 2 years old, and I just don't know whether you'll get any business from it. And he said, what do I have to lose? Listen to these results. 1 hour it took him to enter in that stack of estimates. He just put them all in and let it ride. He pressed the button and let Closing Commander start automating the follow-up process for him. He called me back 5 weeks later and said, Carter, I just closed 20% of those estimates in the last 5 weeks. That's $100,000 it was actually over $100,000 in business that he never thought he'd get from this old stack of estimates in his business. And he closed six figures, 20% in 5 weeks for 1 hour of work. So since then, he's gone on to do $250,000 in additional business using Closing Commander. And as you can imagine, he's one of our most loyal fans. The last case study I want to go over with you is Jerry Brittingham AC and Heat in Daytona Beach, Florida. William Brittingham is the owner there who I spoke with, and he told me that after everything that he'd been trying, manual systems, emails, calendars, field management software that poked at his techs to get them to make phone calls, nothing else he had ever used had ever worked to get his techs to follow up. So when he came to Closing Commander, he thought, I don't have much hope. I just don't. I don't have much hope, but I'm going to try it anyway. So he did. Because he knew he was leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table every year, it was worth trying something to see if it would work. So despite his doubts, he committed to taking the Closing Commander 10X challenge, which basically is you sign up, you enter at least 10 customers into your new account in the first 24 hours, you let the system start automatic follow-ups for you, and then if you do that, we know that users who do it will almost always 10X their first month's cost for the system, and they'll do that 10X in the first 10 days. So many users actually go on and make 10X their entire year's subscription in the first 10 days, or certainly within the first 30 days. So that's the 10X challenge. 10 customers in the first day, you'll 10X your return on the investment in the first 10 days. But Billy didn't actually do that. He waited a few days after he signed up and then stuck the customers in. But still, just listen to what he told me. I'm just going to read you this what happened next. He said, I put in just 14 days worth of estimates that never got followed up on, and I have received a crazy response I would have never thought possible. I'm working back and forth with 3 customers right now looking for new systems. One just sold since my first message. Another wanted a system that was twice as expensive as the one my tech quoted him. Plus, I've got multiple smaller jobs that have all sold. You all are awesome, and thank you. You think you found a system that works? Yes, he did. These results are just some of the amazing stories that we're hearing about. We're so excited. People who are saying, I've got no more friction with my employees. There's no more fear on their parts with following up. There's no more list of undone tasks that are costing me hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. There's no more customers that are falling through the cracks and experiencing less than stellar customer service experiences. No more wasted marketing dollars. All of the money I'm spending on leads, now they get followed up on. I'm maximizing my marketing dollars. I'm getting bigger ticket sales. I have better relationships with my customers because they're conditioned to know that I communicate well with them. In fact, I know that using Closing Commander, you can close an additional 20% of the open estimates, quotes, or proposals in your business every single month. You can reclaim hundreds of hours of time spent doing repetitive tasks that feel like drudgery. You can get rid of the feeling that happens when you know you should be doing something, but you're not, and it's costing you thousands of dollars. You'll even eliminate the psychological fear and pushback that everyone feels when it comes to following up. I've talked to multiple business owners who have hired a full-time person in their business to do nothing but follow up on estimates. One said he spent $30,000 a year on a salary and commission plus benefits for one person in his office who did nothing but follow up on the estimates that were left by technicians and hadn't yet closed. And you know what he said? Carter, it's worth every penny. $30,000 a year is worth it to get the money that's locked up in those open estimates. Other business owners multiple times have told me that they spiff their technicians an extra $10 to $20 every single time that they make a follow-up call that leads to the eventual sale. $10 to $20 times how many estimates times how many technicians every single month. One person said, yeah, I'm prepared to spend $2,000 a month for this one incentive in my business, but you know what? There hasn't been a single month since I started this that I've ever had to pay out more than $300 of that $2,000. He said, I wish my guys would do this because I know if they did, it'd be 10 to 20 times that back in revenue. That is how valuable follow-up is. And every good business owner knows the fortune is in the follow-up. You can solve the follow-up problem, and you can unlock the incredible fortune that's found there. It's already sitting there in your business. You just have to take action now to go get it. Some say it's a no-brainer at $2,000 a month set aside for spiffs. Others say $30,000 a year for a full-time employee. Totally worth it. So I want to ask you, what would you be willing to do? How much would you be willing to pay to solve the follow-up dilemma once and for all and start getting back 10 times, 20 times, or even 50 times that investment? Well, I hope I've got you thinking today, because what I'm going to tell you next is the best news you'll hear all day. And that's because we've decided to make Closing Commander available to you at just a fraction of those kinds of prices. It's made specifically for the way you already run your business. And we have a special offer that's only available to you right now because you clicked and watched this video all the way through to this point today. So let me explain what you're going to get. It's an automated sales follow-up system. You get to choose a plan that fits the way you want to run it in your business. You can run it through the office like about half of our users do. All you have to do is choose the office plan below this video. You could also go with the crew plan and give this tool to all of your salespeople. They're going to love the support. It makes more sales for them without all of the hassle of manual follow-ups, and you no longer have to ride herd on your crew. The crew plan connects up to 10 company email inboxes to your account, and if you need more than 10, you can get them by signing up for the Fleet plan, which gives you up to 20 inboxes. You get a proven set of email templates that have been written by our expert copywriter. She's amazing. These are all fully tested, right down to the timing and spacing between the emails in the campaign. They're already in your account when you sign up. They're set up and installed, ready to go. So they're going to start making you money right out of the gate. Also keep in mind that as you use these templates, they're fully customizable. So even if you start with the defaults, you can always change them to your liking later. You are also going to get a 30-minute account setup and strategy call with one of our team members just to get you going. It usually only takes about half that time to actually get you set up with your system, but we like to have the extra time to really talk strategy with you about how to roll this out with your team or how to make it the most successful it can be in your business. You're going to get live chat support for every member of your team who has a connected inbox. It doesn't matter how many people on your team, everybody gets the same support experience in our app. We want them to be successful using Closing Commander as much as you do. So naturally, we want them to have our full support in the system. This is a cloud-based software system, so there's nothing that you have to download or update or install on your computers. You just log in from any computer or mobile device, wherever you happen to be, and you can start using your account right away. There's no contract involved. So if you decide that creating an automated cash machine like I've just described in your business, if it's not for you, you can cancel at any time. And here is the best part. Saved for last. Just for you today, if you sign up now on this page, you're going to get a full 60 days to try it in your business risk-free. That's a 60-day risk-free money-back guarantee, and it's an exclusive offer available right now on this page. You can go to our website and get a 14-day free trial at any time, but if you want a full 60 days to make sure this is going to do everything I just told you it's already doing for other companies just like yours, then right now is the time to take that action to claim the 60-day risk-free money-back guarantee. And if you do decide it's not for you, just contact us in the first 60 days to let us know, and we're going to refund 100% the full amount that you've spent during that 60 days, money back guaranteed. Now, we know some of you may want to see the software in action before you commit, so we do have a quick feature demo video. It's a separate video below on the page, and it's going to answer most of your questions if you like to see features. It only takes a couple more minutes to watch if you want. And I definitely suggest taking a look down the page at some of the actual user testimonials that appear. People who are just like you in contractor and home service businesses who are saying, this is stupid simple. This is the best thing that we've ever done. This has made the needle move in our business. I can't believe how easy it is to use, how much our customers appreciate it. I could go on. Just read the testimonials. Okay, so you've just watched the whole presentation right up to the end, and I hope that what that means is you're excited to take the Closing Commander 10X challenge for yourself to see what amazing automatic results you can get for your company. Remember, it's completely risk-free, so please don't wait. Choose a plan below, get signed up today, schedule your 30-minute account setup and strategy call to begin seeing the amazing results that will happen when you follow up. Thanks again for watching.